let's look at the challengers for the title, man. Kind of the top 4, I guess we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll look at Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Villa title challengers.
Yeah, I mean Spurs were
Currently
for a
they
long
are.
time there. They're sitting 1 point back of City right now. City do have a game in hand, and even West Ham, they're creeping up there. So as far as the challengers, you would expect the top 4 teams, at least 3 of them, to make a challenge. So let's get into them. I mean, we got first place Liverpool, 42 points. Arsenal in second on 40. Villa in third at 39. And City with a game in hand on 37 points to round out the top 4. So, alphabetical order, shall we? Let's start with the greatest team on earth.
Okay,
Arsenal. Who aren't playing like the greatest team on earth right now.
They're not.
1 win in 4 to end the calendar year. At the time of me writing this, they had the best defense in the Premier League. Now it's Liverpool. So, I have a question for you, Targo. Are they
What's your
better
question?
than they were last season?
Oh, so I've actually heard this question already before on like ESPN or something.
Yep.
And it's like Arsenal are a better team, but aren't playing as good as last season. Is how they've described it.
If you can cut the field in half, maybe.
Because that's kind of how I feel. Is defensively they've been better. You get a player like Declan Rice, that makes you better.
Mm-hmm.
But offensively, going forward, players are not playing better. Gabriel Martinelli looks like a shadow of himself compared to last season. Gabriel Jesus is still getting hurt, popping up with the odd goal. Saka, for as good as he's doing, I would say he's not playing as good as he was last season.
Yeah, and I would say a lot of that has to do with, especially Martinelli as well. Teams have figured out how to play against them, double teaming them the moment they get the ball, not letting them dribble at them. Last season, teams let them do that. So, same with Odegaard.
Zinchenko looked better last season.
Oh, much. He was a driving force behind the team last season.
The goalkeeper situation at Arsenal is not looking as good as it was last season. And so, are they a better team? Potentially on paper, yeah. On the pitch.
Are they playing better? The eye test?
The eye test, defensively, maybe. Offensively, no. 100% no. They're not. That's obvious. But what I can say about them is they look like they have another gear they could go into, which is promising for us Arsenal fans. But whether they get there or not, I don't know. If they want to win the Premier League, they have to get there. Otherwise, they're going to finish second, third, fourth.
Yeah. I mean, we both agree that they are definitely going to make Champions League.
Yes.
They'll make that next year. They've been playing well in said Champions League. I know they have a couple of injuries, and suspensions for the West Ham game didn't help them. Kai Havertz is starting to come into his own. Is he Granit Xhaka? Not by any means at all. I think Granit Xhaka, at this point, so far what we've seen from Kai Havertz is probably twice the player Kai Havertz is. Going forward, teams have figured out Arsenal. They just figured them out. How to play against them, how to counter them, where they're weak. I mean, every team just goes right down that right side when Zinchenko is tucked in, and all of a sudden they're on a breakaway.
And again, Odegaard isn't playing, I would say, in the same position that he was last year, where he was super effective, scoring goals, assisting goals.
A lot less freedom, it seems like. He seems to just wander to the right side and not to the left at all.
He does.
Declan Rice has been a breath of fresh air. Yeah, I will say that.
He's probably their best player.
The problem is Thomas Partey's been hurt all season, and last season he played the majority of the games, and he was fantastic.
Well, I don't know, man. When he was healthy, he was playing right back.
Again, I was getting to that. It's if he's going to play in the midfield. I don't know. I would love to see Partey, Rice, and Odegaard and give Odegaard more freedom. But you can't because Partey's been hurt all season. Yeah. I mean, we would have loved to see Urian Timber play most of the season.
And now Partey is about to go to Africa Cup of Nations.
And he just started training again. Urian Timber, he's been hurt all season.
He has. He's been
not
a
going
miss
to come
for sure.
back until end of March at the earliest. So you are lacking depth on defense. Tomiyasu's been hurt a lot, and he's been playing left back, and he's more consistent than Zinchenko.
I would argue he hasn't been hurt a lot. He's hurt currently. But he does have his injury issues. He seems to miss some games every year, yeah.
So with the injuries, yes, Arsenal have a deep enough squad to make up for it, but the players coming in, I mean, if you look at what happens if Saka gets hurt, you're putting in Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira maybe, Emile Smith-Rowe.
Doesn't breed confidence, does it?
No. Smith-Rowe can't buy a game, and if he had playing consistently, I would have confidence in that. But no. On the left, you got Leandro Trossard, who, I mean, with the way that he's been playing versus the way Martinelli's been playing, I would argue Martinelli should be on the bench.
I would agree with that argument.
So, I mean, again, Arsenal are a deeper squad than they were last season. On paper, they're a better squad. They look like they probably have one or two more gears to get into. I mean, we saw it against Sevilla in the Champions League where they just absolutely thrashed them.
I would say you saw it against Brighton, too, here recently.
It's just they cannot finish chances, man. I don't know if it's Gabriel Jesus, but I love how much he brings to the squad other than scoring goals. And so that's why
that's his job, man, to score goals. He's the striker.
And then Martinelli.
You talked about shit on Erling Haaland because all he does is score goals and doesn't do the other stuff, but that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So again, I don't know. Do you bring in Eddie Nketiah? But when he's on the pitch, he is frustrating because
you don't bring
goals,
on
but doesn't do the rest of the stuff.
If Arsenal want to compete for Champions League, Premier League, they're gonna have to upgrade their striker. I mean, that's
Oh, I agree, 100%. I mean, they need another center back, another midfielder, and a different striker.
I would argue even a right winger
to back up Saka. Yeah, I would say so, unless some miraculously Smith-Rowe can stay healthy to back him up.
Reece Nelson gets spectacular here.
Good luck. Anyways, that's enough talk about our beloved Arsenal. Let's go to Aston Villa, because we are going in alphabetical order, not in order of them in the table. Aston Villa, man. Unai Emery for manager of the season?
Half point way, sure.
He gets my vote, man.
Either
if
him
you
or
just do this calendar year, Aston Villa, I think, are tied for the most points.
This calendar year for sure. Since he took over.
I mean, they were in the drop zone. And now look at them. So, yeah, I mean, Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, David Luiz, Pau Torres, all been revelations.
Douglas Luiz.
That's what I said. No. You're right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at Digne, Emi Martinez. I mean, just name the whole squad, man. They look...
Yeah.
Moussa Diaby. I mean, yeah. But yeah, Villa, they look fantastic, man. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to see them up there. I mean, they're in third. That's the time of this recording. Do they last in this title race? If I was a betting man, I would say probably not. We'll see how long they can keep it going, but I love to see it.
Yeah, for me, I think of them as title challengers not because they have the squad to challenge for the title, but it's because everybody else has been that inconsistent this season.
Oh, 100%, man. Every team is, I mean, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, all of them are.
All of them.
Like, we're kind of waiting for this one team to kind of grab the season by the throat and start, bam, busting it out, but no one is. No one's taking advantage of it, except for maybe Aston Villa.
Yeah, we thought about that when Leicester won the league. We're like, okay, Arsenal's going to do it. Tottenham's going to do it. City's going to do it. Some team is going to just take hold of this title challenge and make it their own. And they're not. And Villa is just hanging around the top, just like Leicester were. And all of a sudden, Leicester just kept separating themselves because they were the most consistent team, and then all of a sudden they won the league. So I'm not going to do that again where I'm dismissing teams that are in the top four at the halfway point of the season because that has proven me wrong before. So Aston Villa is breath fresh air. They're fantastic. Unai Emery has been the best coach in the Premier League this season, especially with the squad he has. So I would love to see them stay there and prove me right because Manchester United has already proven me right with picking them in 7th place. So, all right, next up, Liverpool. Took me a second to think of, did L come before M?
LMNOP, man.
Yep. Liverpool. Phenomenal attack. Sputters at times. Limp over the line in matches. But somehow are still first in Premier League.
So I would argue phenomenal attack. I would say Mo Salah is their phenomenal attack.
Luis Diaz has been good this season. Diogo Jota is good when he's healthy. Darwin Nunez has the potential to be the best striker in the Premier League, but he cannot finish to save his life. So
you kind of said it right there. Diogo Jota, good when he's healthy. Luis Diaz, bro's got 3 goals.
yeah,
No,
but
I would not say that's a very good season for Luis Diaz. He's not playing the best, I would say. Let's be honest, that's expected when he's had his personal issues that have been going on in his life.
Yeah.
Darwin Nunez misses like no other. You can go watch an hour-long highlight video of all of his misses. Cody
as referred
Gakpo?
to at the beginning of this episode,
What's Cody Gakpo done, bud?
I wasn't even considering him because of what he hasn't done.
Exactly. So it's Mo Salah. Mo Salah is Liverpool's attack.
Well, I would say Mo Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai, Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's their attack.
Exactly. Their midfield looks all right.
Endo looks like a solid signing.
I would say you probably want to get Endo out of there and put McAllister back in when he's healthy. But yeah, I mean, they got Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott's been a
Ryan Gravenberch.
Gravenberch has taken that, other side of the midfield and run with it. With Gravenberch the way he's been playing and Harvey Elliott, I don't see how McAllister gets back into this side.
Oh, he'll get in for sure. I think 100%.
He will.
Again, the defense, you have Virgil van Dijk, fantastic.
Alexander
Andy Robertson's out injured. Samikas has been back there.
He's played well, I will say. He played well against Arsenal.
Center back, Konate, Kwanzaa, because Joel Matip's out for the rest of the season with an ACL. Right back, you got Trent, or Joe Gomez, because Trent's been going into midfield, it seems like. Mm-hmm. Joe Gomez is going in right back. I worry for Liverpool when Mo Salah leaves for Africa Cup of Nations.
Yep. We will
I really
see
do.
Their medal. We will see that, and it's going to be a month without Mo Salah.
So I worry about Liverpool for that month, but at the same time, I also worry about them, again, going forward and maybe defensively. If Darwin Nunez can start banging in these goals, if Luis Diaz can find form, then yes, I think they will be fantastic. But at the way they're going, I don't see them as title winners. I know they're in first, which...
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
The way they're currently playing.
And then let's get into the team that's always there. The team that's won 3 in a row, going for 4, and have won every trophy under the sun in the past calendar year. Manchester City. They just don't go away. Even as they've been inconsistent at best and sometimes playing downright cocky this season. Kevin De Bruyne coming back. They're the best team in the world with 14 matches left. And you know what? That's only 5 matches away. Are they still a lock to win the title with everybody being so inconsistent around
I would say they're favorites, yeah. Like, if I had to give a percentage, I would say it's probably, 60% City and then 20% Liverpool, 20% Arsenal.
I don't know if I would go that far, but it's definitely over 50%. Yeah.
I mean, yes, Kevin De Bruyne is coming back. We've seen it in years past, the tear they go on come the end of the season, man. They won't lose. They will win 17 games in a row. They will.
I know. And I hate to see it.
It sucks as a not Man City fan, but...
Yeah. The one thing I will say, though, is that their midfield isn't as good. Like, who's that third player? You got Rodri, you got De Bruyne. Who's that third player that's going to lock down that spot? Because Bernardo Silva's been playing, I don't know, is he playing center mid? Is he playing out wide? It's not consistent. Is Jack Grealish going to play on the outside? Is Jeremy Doku? Is Phil Foden? Who's going to nail down that spot? And then when Erling Haaland's hurt again, like he has been, who's going to score the goals? I mean, obviously they're going to spread it around, but when he is playing without Kevin De Bruyne, they look a little devoid of creativity.
Phil Foden's kind of currently been playing in that KDB role and doesn't look terrible at times.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player, Phil Foden, but he's not Kevin De Bruyne. No one is Kevin De Bruyne.
And then what happens in January if, some Saudi Arabian team comes in with a big bid? Kevin De Bruyne is looking for one last big payday.
I think he finishes out the season.
Career. I mean, what happens, though? Because it's going to happen.
I mean, the same thing could be said about Mo Salah.
Yeah, well, we know that's going to happen because it happened at the end of the summer transfer window, and they're not going to stop.
I don't think it does. If it does happen, Man City have the riches to go out to buy whoever they want, man.
Yeah. We'll see. Either way, I think you're right. They definitely are the favorites, especially with how inconsistent everybody's been in this festive period. And City has played one game. Everybody else has played 2 or 3. So
if City continue playing like this, and like I said, if an Arsenal or a Liverpool can Villa even grab and start going on that streak, potentially, but no team is doing that.
Yeah.
And City have proven to do that in the past.
Yeah, and it'll be the team that, gets the most points from the teams in the bottom half of the table and who gets the most points from the teams in the title challenge. Because right now, I mean, Villa's got the most points out of all of them against each other. As where Arsenal has beaten City, lost to Villa, and tied Liverpool. So we'll see how that goes.